We have been programmed from the time that we were very, very little about what we can do, about what is impossible, meaning we have already been trained and taught to be what is absolutely wrong, dangerous, counterproductive in itself, what is also impossible, and what is not really true, authentic, influential, virtuous in itself. We have already been trained and taught to become something we never really agreed for, we never really signed up for, and we never really wanted to say, think, become, and accomplish in our lives, that whatever we're trained and taught to think, say, and do and become in our lives. So we are already trained. We are not only programmed by the universe, by the biology, by the soul, which is intrinsic, pure, holy, pious anyways, but we're programmed first and most importantly by the family, by the parents, by our relatives, who have already contaminated our consciousness, who have never allowed us to become whatever we wanted to become, because we have become not in our own image, but in the image of not only others, but also our own people in one way or another. But then again, we had to be able to become whatever we want to be able to become, and not the parents or the others. Because that's how we become different. That's how we become sovereign, independent individual. Otherwise not. But most of us in the modern society have become, achieved, said whatever the others expected, desired, and demanded of us. So we have basically signed up for fulfilling the contracts of the collective unconscious. We have fulfilled, lived up to, and become the others' expectancies, desires, demands, for reciprocity, validation, success, conformity, approval, money, riches all the time, because we could not afford to be isolated, because we could not live in solitude or loneliness with ourselves, because we fear not only isolation but also constant criticism, opposition, challenge, and condemnation from the public, from the others, from the whole modern society in one way or another. So we're programmed in fundamentally negative, dangerous, and counterproductive ways, and that's why we inevitably and ultimately end up in a whole lot of depression, unwantedness, disorientation, despair, sadness in our lives, because we don't feel belonging to anywhere in the world, because we don't feel connected with ourselves, because we do not become what we have wanted to become. We have become whatever we're trained or taught to become, and that is absolutely dangerous. So we had to break this programming by understanding it, by becoming aware of it, by recognizing that this hidden programming and conditioning exists within ourselves, which has to be done away with by realizing it. Otherwise, we'll be conditioned